So here we have a list of users that we can add to a list of users. How about wanting to be able to remove things from the users, right? What we'd like to be able to do is maybe add a delete button to all these, so that when we click on delete, poof, it removes that particular user. So let's take a look at that. So let's look at where the users are being rendered, right? I think we have a function that renders the users. So here's how the users are rendered. Okay? There's a couple ways of doing it. We could add the delete button right here in our HTML template right here, right? Right inside of li, we could put a delete button in there, right? But if we do that, then we have the challenge of having to bind the click on the delete button, right? And then deciding what function to call, right? So we have that challenge. What do? We have this delete button. So there's another way. What we could do is first create the delete button outside, right? Bind it to the function, and then append it to this li. See that? Right? So there's several ways of doing it. We could put the delete right inside of our template, but then we have to say, well, how do I now select the delete button in there so I can take it out, bind it to the function, right? And then leave it where it is, right? So let's do it the easy way. We have the li, we have the $li, which represents the li, right? We can create the delete button first and then append the delete button to the li, right? And it'll render in there. So let's do that. Let's say let delete button. We can create a brand new button. We can say $, button delete. Okay. And once we have the button, I guess we can declare it down below here, right? We have the delete button. We can append it to the li. You can say user list user li. We can append the delete button. So delete button is going to already have the username there, and now I'm going to append the delete button next to that. Right? Remember before we did it, right? Now we're doing it formally. Yeah, so if we render now, all the usernames have a delete button right next to it. Yes, everybody okay? Right now, having done this, it's a little easier that because I have the button declared right out here, right? Because I have the delete button right here, I could just bind this. I can say delete button, right, and do a click as an event handler, and call, alert delete me. Okay, so now every single button here is going to be bound to that function. Yeah, so if I click on delete, right, we have the alert, delete me. Right now, the tricky part here is to know, well, which one did you click on, right? Ideally, we would have the index of the original object as we were iterating, right? As we're iterating, we would need to somehow remember, on the third element there, the index was 2, right? But notice that by the time this is rendered, it's already in the DOM. The for loop is gone, right? So we would need some mechanism to map this clicking on this delete button and the item. Yes.
If you were to make an anonymous function and kept the variable in there, would it stay?
Yes, it would. That was the point I was going to try and make. But yes, thank you. That feature is referred to as closures, right? In JavaScript, when you have functions that are invoked inside of a loop or inside of a bigger function, the inner function remembers the context in which that function was declared, right? So this function here that says delete me, this function that says delete me, this function right here, remembers the context in which was declared, right? In particular, it remembers the value of this u, of this index as it was iterating, even though the loop is gone, right? And this variable u doesn't exist anymore, right? Once you drop off the loop, all these variables are gone. Yes, these are all local variables that are gone after the for loop. But that's actually, they can still be bound in here. We can say plus u, right? So that value u is still available to me, right? So if I say delete here, notice it says delete 0, delete 1, delete 2, delete 3. See that? Yes. Yeah, I'm in the for loop. I am in the for loop. Well, no, when I drop off here, right, that value u is gone, right? So presumably u in other languages, this feature is not supported. U has no meaning, right, and would be undefined. No, it won't remember it because u is gone, like you would expect. It would be undefined outside of the for loop, right? So when I click on it, it's it's several minutes afterwards. That u is gone, right? That variable u where it was stored as I was iterating, that is gone, right? But the for loop, but the because it was being referenced in the function, right? The function, there's extra code that says, ooh, you need the context of that value of u. So I need to remember that, and so closures do that, right? Any variables that are referenced from within the functions, right, are kept in the context of that function. Yeah. So here, what I could do is, instead of alert, I could actually remove things from the array, right? I could say, hey, the users array, I want to splice out. So splice is the opposite of push, right? Well, actually, no. Splice can behave two ways. Splice can remove elements, and it can also add a whole bunch of elements, right? The simplest syntax is just to remove things out from an array, and the syntax is simple. You need to tell me where you want me to splice out, right? What index you want me to splice out, and how many elements do you want me to splice out, right? And right now it just says 1. I want you to remove just 1 element. Okay, right? So this will remove things from that array. Okay, but removing from the array is not enough. After we remove from the array, we need to re-render the list, right? And re-update the user interface so we can say render users. Right. So if we refresh and we click on Dan is gone, add is gone, and if I add even new users, it works for new users as well, right? You can remove, and so on and so forth. Make sense?